Hi, I'm Claire and I run a Facebook community called Boudica Board Games, and today I have offered one of my lovely volunteer moderators a review of their game, The Pyramid of Khufu. So if you enjoy Egyptian themed games and two-player card games, this game might be for you. The idea that Steve and Claire, who've designed the game themselves, was to raise money for a charity that's close to their heart. The charity is based in Cardiff and it's to raise money for cancer patients. I can't remember the exact name and I'll probably say it wrong, so Steve and Claire might need to add on the top, as I don't live in Cardiff myself either. But I do like games and that's why I have my community group, and I do how to play videos and reviews as well. So today we're going to talk about that. Now, they haven't got a hard copy of the game yet. I'm assuming some of that's down to the COVID and the lockdown. But just to use your imagination a bit, the cards are going to be plastic free, so environmentally friendly, which I think is brilliant. It's something I've often questioned myself with games, how environmentally friendly are they, although we do tend to keep them forever or trade them. And they do look Egyptian-y, I think that's the right term, but that's what I would describe them as. So I'm going to be using a cut and play game that they gave me, so it's not going to look brilliant in terms of quality, but I can see what they're trying to do in terms of what it's going to look like, and I personally think it's going to look absolutely beautiful. So to give you an idea of what the Pyramid of Khufu aim is, so I'm going to read some of this off of this sheet that they've given me because I'll get lost with my words. So your aim is to achieve the most divine points within your pyramid in order to ascend into a god upon your glorious death. So they've got a little blurb on here about you being the great pharaoh of Khufu, and your reign has come to an end. For you to ascend to the afterworld, you're supposed to ensure that your mortal body is safeguarded. And obviously in Egyptian times you would be mummified, and you'd have, if you're very wealthy, and certain pharaohs, you would have a beautiful pyramid to go to. So in terms of the game, to ascend, I suppose, you need to collect 9 sacred items, which I'll show you the cards in a minute. And you need to have a god bless your items as well. And to complete your pyramid, you need to have a capstone. And they've got a little interesting fact at the bottom about pyramids not being able to stay together unless they have a capstone. Although, interestingly, Khufu's is actually missing, which I didn't know. I used to watch a lot of Egyptian stuff when I was younger, but I'm a little bit behind with the times. So I'm going to turn the camera around or stop the video because my video is weird, and make another video which hopefully they can attach. With showing the cards rather than my face, which I tried to do Egyptian themed, kind of does with my pendant, but yeah, I like a bit of cosplay, very mild today. So I'm going to turn it around and talk about how the game plays. Here's one of the sheets they gave me, and you've got a picture on there, and I think Claire has done a particularly good job of the video that she's put up on Kickstarter as limited funds and their first time. So yes, I'm going to show you some of the cards, first of all. So to start off with, you need to make sure that you've got these 3 cards for each of you. So the subterranean level, the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber. So to get to the capstone, you need to have 4 objects, any ones of your choice, on the subterranean level, 3 on the Queen's Chamber, and, is that right? And 2 on the King's Chamber. Let me just add that up. Yeah, that's 9. I can do maths. So once you've laid those out, you get dealt 7 cards. But we'll look a bit about the cards and what they look like. I like to think that you get kind of an idea of the feel of the cards. As I say, these are just paper printouts at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of, you can see how good they're going to look. So I'm going to show you a couple of the god cards. So Osiris, I picked this one because I can actually say it. If you look on the top left, it tells you how many points that you might get at the end, or and also gives you a little bit about, if you have a good memory, this game is particularly good. you can, you know, double your points. I have played this with my husband a little while ago, but unfortunately he's busy today, so he can't play with me. But if you remember what cards you've got, you can, you know, add to your points. So if Osiris is discovered in the same pyramid as his wife, which is Isis, their great love for each other endures, so they get an extra 3 points. Now we got Ra. Ra I recognise because I love Stargate, and if you love Stargate too, you'll recognise this one. But as you can see, he has a minor, so if he's found with Osiris, which is the one I put on there, he retreats to the heavens and hands over the throne. So if he's in your pyramid, blessing one of your items, and you have Osiris as well, you will lose 3 points. Now, some of the gods are just minus on the onset. Excuse the pun, this is set. You also get more minus points if he's discovered in the same pyramid as Osiris. So it seems like Osiris is very much hated and probably a good one in some ways to shove in your opponent's things. A bit of strategy there. So if he's found with Osiris, that kills him and scatters pieces of his body over Egypt. So yeah, I hope you can get an idea of that. So that's just 3 god cards that I've shown you. There is many more. I think there's 28 altogether. So there's 9 different types of special items. What are they calling them? My brain has gone dead. Which need to be blessed by gods, and they all, again, in the top left corner have different amounts that points that they can cost. So some of these canopaic jars can be 1 point and some are 5. So yes, so you need to get a canopaic jar in your pyramid. So I'm just going to lay these down for now so you get an idea of your pyramid and what it looks like. So clothes and jewellery, a sarcophagus, I don't know if I'm saying this right, a shabby tea, oils and ornaments, amulets, Book of the Dead, and food and drink, and weapons. So I haven't done a very good looking pyramid there. I'm just going to move them out of the way and move these back down. As I say, that's just the level. Oh, making a mess of this. So you would probably do it like this, so it looked more like a pyramid really. I've not really done that very well. So you'd then get your capstone at the top. But obviously they haven't been blessed by God, so you can't put your capstone down anyway. So there's probably a lot of strategic ways you can play this. Now, at the beginning I said that each player gets dealt 7 cards. So just going to have a little look at those. Obviously you wouldn't lay those down, you collect them as you want, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Also a picture there and what it would look like when you've got your 2 players. I think Steve and Claire are working on a solo player mode, which will be good as well. So I'm just going to move all those ones for now and just play a little bit to show you how it plays, so you've got an idea of what those cards look like. So this here is the marketplace. There always needs to be 5 cards out in the marketplace, and there's your discard and shuffle pile. Each player gets given 3 tokens. One's hide, one's protect, and one's search, which will come clear in a minute when I explain to you. So there's not loads of pieces to this game. Don't know why I've got that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so these are some other cards to look out for in the marketplace, which I haven't shown you. A robber's tunnel, which means you can build on your to cut through to the opponent, which then means you can either use your steal token or a card that comes out from steal from a pyramid, which is another card that comes out in the marketplace. So you can go and steal, if you see a particularly juicy item they've got like +5, and to mess them up you can steal it. You can search a discard pile if you know there's a particular god in there that you know you can get extra points for. Again, it requires a lot of memory here. And excuse my really poor cutting from being impatient to play. And steal from hand, so you can steal from your opponent's hand. So each player will have their 7 cards. Obviously you won't lay them out like this, but these are the 7 that I've got. Okay. And I'm going to get the sheet so I don't forget. There's 3 parts to play. So you've got the market phase, the building phase, and the replenish phase. So first of all, each time it's your turn, you do the market phase. So you need to take 1 face-up card from the marketplace. So any of these ones that are down here you can choose. So for me, looking at my cards, I might actually still, now I've played it once, and my husband was sneaky, take the Robber's Tunnel, which means that my now hand is too many, so I need to discard a card from my hand. So I've got 2 canopaic jars, so I'm just going to discard that because it's only plus 1 point. So then it is my building phase. So you can take 3 actions during your building phase. So you place or tuck a sacred item into your pyramid. So I'm going to just pick up like Book of the Dead and start on the subterranean level on the 4 and place that down. So I can do 3 actions in this, and what I really need under that for it to be valid is a god. Now your other player's not going to see your gods, so I've only got him at the moment. So probably not best to put many at the back of mine, and I don't think I've got any other gods there now. So what I might do is put it down on one of his, on my opponent or hers, which they won't see, they won't know that they've got minus points. So that would be my 2 turns, and my 3rd turn I think I will put a Robber's Tunnel, which now means I can steal from his pyramid if he puts something good down, or their pyramid. Now the other things you can do on your turn for a building phase, I'm just going to look at the sheet because I'll forget otherwise. You can steal or search from a card. Use one of your 3 special tokens, which is hide, protect or search. So if you've got a Robber's Tunnel, once you've placed that down, or if it's already down, you can use search to look through one of their piles that they've got. Obviously early on in the game they may not have any piles, so it wouldn't be worth it. If you've got a particularly good pile with your gods and your sacred thingies, I forgot what they're called now, you can protect that pile so the opposite person can't steal. And obviously you've got and you've also got hide, so you can put down say this and put that token on top to hide it, so they don't know that you've got +5 on there, but obviously they could use search on you to look for it. So that would be my 3 goes. So I would have, for the building phase, so I've put down my Book of the Dead, I've given them my evil god to give them minus points, and I put a Robber's Tunnel down in preparation for next time when I want to steal one of their cards. So at the 3rd phase of gameplay, you must end your turn with 7 cards in your hand, which I do have, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I haven't. I've got 5. So you take them from over here from the discard piles. I've got 6, 7, and then I must put 1, so there's always 5 in the marketplace. So then it would be the next player's turn, and again it would go round to them, so they would then have to choose an item from the marketplace, and then they then move on. Oh, something else you can do in the marketplace, you can discard 1 card from your hand into the discard pile face up alongside the draw pile. So these is a discard pile. I've actually turned it the wrong way around, so the other person needs to see what you've discarded. So that's what you can do. Instead of taking one up, you can discard one of your cards and face it up. Oh no, do you have to do both of those? Hold on, let me just check. No, okay, so you take one of those. I already did this, didn't I? And then you discard 1 card from your hand into the discard pile, which I did do, sorry. So that's what he would do. So there's two parts to that phase, the market phase. So then you move on to the building phase. So he would then take 3 actions. So he'd either place a sacred item, so one of these on his pyramid. So we'll just use that as a idea. And then if you've got in your hand a god, which I haven't at the moment, so I'm just going to steal one over here. And set, I don't want set, so I could put Ra under there, just to give you an idea of what it would look like. They don't see that you put Ra under there, and you can do that. You can also put more than 1 god under there, if you want to, and you can also put more than 1 item. So if you're putting another item on there, it has to be the same item. So for instance, I could keep that one on and that one on. If they went to steal from me, they have to take the top one. They can't take my good one. So it's a good way of trying to hide those. So again, on the building phase, you can steal or search. Use one of your 3 special tokens, which I showed you. Discard a card. And then also, there is a more difficult level, but I won't talk about that now because I'm still struggling. So then you'd move to the replenish phase. You make sure that you have 7 cards in your hand, and that there's 5 in the marketplace. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the last bit, scoring can be a bit tricky. I can't turn my camera around without making loads of videos, which is annoying. So once you've put all that down, so you've got your 4 at the bottom, your 3 on your Queen's chamber and your 2 on the King's chamber, you can then put a capstone, which I don't think I showed you. I don't know where they've gone. Let's see if I can find one quickly. Probably not. Yep, so once you've done that, you put your capstone on top, and that's the end of the game, and you then do scoring. Now, just because you've built your pyramid first doesn't mean that you are going to necessarily win, as I found out last time I played. So just to add that there was something I forgot to talk about when you're searching or stealing. I'm not sure if the dice is going to be included in the box. I'm assuming so. So you will need 1 dice with 1 face showing 2, 3 faces showing 1, and 2 faces with 0. So I'm assuming that will come in the box. So we used our own little method there. So you can actually steal more if you get a certain dice. So if you get 1 showing 2, or you could steal 2. If you get 3 faces showing 1, you get 1. So there will be a dice in the box for that added bit. Also, I didn't show you the capstone. Here's a picture of the capstone. It's reversed at the moment, which is annoying because of my camera. So just to talk a bit about my thoughts of the game, I really enjoyed it. I love Egyptian themed stuff. As you can see by my attempt at trying to do makeup, I got excited. I used to watch and play a lot more things with it when I was younger. I would say the game, I would put the game at about 10+, although I do think younger children could play it if you use the simple rules. I didn't go into the more difficult rules, and you could just miss on the God ones. So like I've got a 7-year-old, so I would probably just ignore the last bit there and just go by that bit to make it a bit more simple. But for the standard game, I would say about 10+. As I say, it's a 2-player game. It took us about half an hour to play when we played it, but I think when we were talking to someone else, when they played it the next time, it took them longer because they were playing a lot more strategically, as you got an idea of the cards. My husband enjoyed stealing most of my good cards. If he hadn't have stolen them, I probably would have done a lot better, and I would definitely play that a lot differently with him with stealing. I enjoyed it. I can't see, I mean, I suppose I could give kind of out of 10s for each part. So in terms of the art, I think it's done really well in terms of art, so I would give it a 8 out of 10, and I think it will look even better with the finished product, so I'd probably score it higher than that. I like the fact that they have that they're using environmentally friendly paper for it. For me, that's a bonus. It's something I'm trying to do myself. The fact that it's a bit more in theme with that, which is good. In terms of gameplay, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think, again, once I've got the hard copy, I may even give it a 10 out of 10. I'm looking forward to playing again with my husband with the actual hard copy. In terms of difficulty level, I'd say it's quite an easy game to pick up, with the added of the complexity if you wanted to make it more difficult. So there is a choice there, which is good, which you don't always get with certain games. So in terms of difficulty level, I would say it's fairly easy. So we'll say 10 is easy and 1 is not. So I would give it kind of a 8 out of 10 in terms of simplicity. As I say, you can change the level that you play. There's also, I think they're working on an expansion for it or added cards, so that'll be interesting once I've printed and been more patient with cutting them off to play with that as well. And I just think it's great that Claire and Steve have decided to do this to raise money for charity. I think it's really well done for a first game, and I really do wish them well with it. And I just want my copy, really. That's one of the reasons why I want this to get through Kickstarter, and they are doing amazingly. I would have thought by now they're reaching the 50% mark. So if you like Egyptian games, and you know this is a kind of a something that's important to you, cancer research or helping other people that are cancer, it's definitely something worth backing. As I say, you can add people's name as a gift on it to adorn the card, which I think is a really sweet and lovely idea. And if you're a business as well, particularly in the local area, it could be really helpful to have your name on there as well. So yeah, I wish you luck, and I hope I've not waffled too much. I'm sure there's bits I've missed, and there is a little bit more difficulty with the dice, not difficulty, but subtleties with the dice, but I hope you can kind of get an idea of how it plays, and I hope it helps to make a decision. So thank you for watching, and good luck, Steve and Claire.